So then I decided to make that move back to painting, and then I worked.
No pun.
Yeah, right. Part of it was just at the time we were pregnant. Little goals were being reached.
Because you were probably the best.
No, absolutely not.
No?
No.
Welcome to the Venture Into Moving podcast with your higgity host, Nate Becker. That's me.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Venture Into Business podcast. Today I got David Morse.
How's it going?
Morse Painting Design.
Exactly. Yep.
Dude, I got it right.
Perfect. Yep.
So what do you mean by paint and design? What do you do for design?
So the design aspect was more just kind of leaving myself open for later stuff in case I wanted to build. I do help customers like choose colors and pick.
Did you do that right off the
walls.
bat?
The design part.
The design part, and you call yourself paint and design right off the bat from the beginning, or did you think later on, oh, maybe I should add the and design?
Oh no, we did it right off the bat when we
smart.
were creating the logo.
That's smart.
Which was also one of the reasons it came about, because it looked nice in the logo.
Nice.
Yeah, and it kind of filled up that bottom section.
Dude, I love it. Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about why you decided to start your own company. I mean, have you always been an entrepreneur?
No, absolutely not.
What were you
No.
doing? Last I checked, Morse Painting Design.
So I just decided that's all I've ever really done is paint, things like that.
Hey,
And
did your parents paint or?
No. My dad does excavation. My mom was a nurse.
All right.
Yeah. So I just it's just what I've done when I was younger. It's what I was able to find a job doing.
Okay.
And then I liked it, and I was decent at it. And then when I moved over here to Central Oregon, I did the moving thing. That's where we met for a minute. You know? And then it was just like, this is hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, no, thank you. I'm not trying to do this.
Yeah. Evidently, moving's hard. I mean, it's pretty
Yeah.
easy when you're sitting on the couch talking about it, but when you're on, like when the person's trying to move the couch, they get mad at you.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's tough work. So I was, I was like, why not, go. So then I decided to make that move back to painting, and then I worked.
No pun.
Yeah. Right. And then I worked for somebody for 2 years and was like, hey, let's do this. Let me try to start my own gig.
Because you were probably the best.
No, absolutely not.
No?
No. Like there's definitely people, somebody there that had far more experience than I did, and that I learned a lot from.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You need those mentors in your life.
Yeah,
for sure.
but I was ready to do it, and I think part of it was just at the time we were pregnant. Right?
Yep.
So I was about to have a kid, and I just wanted, just if I can't chase a dream or a goal, I can't really expect my kid to. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Oh, dang, that's a good point.
So it's like, I'm going to try it.
It wasn't just for you, your
well,
wife.
it was. No, it was for me.
No.
But it was for the kid, and
And almost legacy, almost.
Yeah, and it was just, and I was just trying to make a change. So when I moved over here, I was battling addiction, and I was trying to be clean, and was looking for a new place, new faces.
Yeah.
And that's why I did the movie and then painting, and it was like, yeah, let's keep stuff was happening.
Martial arts?
Yeah, no, well, I'd done a tiny bit of jujitsu and stuff, but stuff was happening. Little goals were being reached, and so that's why I was like, hey, let's take a leap at this bigger goal and try to start a company.
You were at a painting company. You weren't the top dog there.
No.
You weren't the most skilled guy there. You hadn't been doing the longest. What made you think, I can do this? I got this.
I think it was more like why can't I? You know what I mean? Then why can't I? I think it was why can't I? So I just went for it. It's like, what do I have to lose?
A lot of people that's the hardest part. Like when you got to go to the gym, the hardest part's getting in your freaking car.
Sure.
So really, how did you get past what most people can't get past, which is that first step of actually filing for the paperwork?
To
just like the first steps. Yeah. I mean, how do you have the cojones to actually do it? Because anyone can talk about it.
I don't know. I guess I just made the decision to go for it. So I filled out the paperwork, or I had my girlfriend at the time fill out the paperwork and help me do that stuff. No, I'm a painter. I paint stuff. I don't.
You're
the
all like
paperwork
red.
and the computer. No, that's like that's difficult. So I got that filled out, and I just I took the classes and was like, oh, I could do this. you know. And
Yeah.
it was just why not?
So what kind of classes?
It was just the CCB class. It's like a 3-day weekend
Okay.
class where it had hardly anything to do with painting or
But business.
building stuff. It was business stuff and tax stuff and
Yeah.
insurance and, you know, those safety.
I was going to say the things that you don't want, you need so you don't get bit.
Right. No, yeah, absolutely. Stuff you have to know if you actually want to run a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Legally and have some longevity.
So you didn't jump into like a lot of guys do, just doing it under the table. I mean, I'm sure you did a handful of jobs on it, you know, like that to start, you know, wet your whistle in it. But like, I know a lot of guys in professions like ours, movers, painters, you know, these kind of easier barrier of entry jobs that just fake it and never get licensed, never get insured. Why'd you want to do that right off the bat?
To be legit?
Yeah.
I guess if I want it to last, it needs to be done right. Right?
No,
And
I mean, I concur. I mean, yeah.
The first 2 years I did, you know, things, you know, where it was hard for me to pay the guys legitimately, and you know, like my books were a mess, you know, after 2 years, and then it was just like.
How long did it take until you got a bookkeeper?
2 years. The 2 year mark, yeah, because I guess I didn't expect it to like work out, you know, that like I wanted it to, and I thought I could, but it was like as soon as I really kind of went for it, it was like, oh, I'm busy. And
what do you mean? What do you mean? You went for it
when I started the company. And
then you were just busy.
I bought door hangers and I walked around for
someone in your shoes back then.
Mm-hmm.
You got door hangers. What are door hangers?
Well, I actually have some over here. So there's the hangers that print up. I had a deal, you know, introducing myself to
just hanging on the front door.
Oh yeah, I walked around.
Do you knock first or you just hang?
Because I'm not, you know.
Yeah. what if they answer?
Yeah, exactly, right. So no, I hung the hanger, and a lot of walking around, a lot of that effort.
You didn't even like have a car or like
I had a car, but it was just, yeah.
So you went to a neighborhood and you walked.
And I parked and went door to door and hung hangers. And,
dude, old school.
And it, you know, got a few calls, and then it just picked up to where I was busy, you know. And
so that seems like very inexpensive. Door hangers, a couple $100.
It was cheap, yeah. It was like $75 for like 1,500 door hangers.
Dude, and that got you. So what other kind of marketing did you do at the very beginning?
That was.
So you spent $75. You spent what I almost spent at Taco Bell the other day. I don't know how you even do that at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
But you spent that on door hangers to get you started with your painting company. What other things would someone need to buy to get their first job? They got door hangers. They hung doors. They get a phone call. They're like, "Yo, dude, paint my porch."
I think it would depend on the size of the job, what you would actually need. Well, you need ladders. Every job, if you're going to paint a house, involves some sort of ladder. Paintbrushes, of course, a sprayer. You know, there's a lot of equipment needed to, you know, not a lot, but a fair amount of equipment needed to start a painting company.
Ballpark, if someone did your door hanger thing, less than $100, they already had the license, but they didn't know how to get their first job. They hung door hangers, they get a call, but they don't have any equipment yet, and they need to paint an exterior.
Sure.
What they're going to need what equipment should they get for that? You can
rent a pump from Sherwin.
Oh, so you can go in with rental stuff.
Yeah, so you can rent a pump if you needed to spray a house.
Okay.
But you're going to need some ladders. You're going to need a few $1,000 probably to get started. And the way I did that was, I felt because part of the life I was living and that I was trying to create for myself, that there was people that maybe wanted to see me succeed. So I text everybody I knew, and I called everybody I knew.
Friends and family.
Everybody, friends, family, probation officer.
That's a smart one,
and was like, "Hey, I'm trying to do this. Will you buy me this ladder for? It's on, you know, Facebook Marketplace for $15. Will you go please buy it for me? I'll pay you back when I can." And people bought me that ladder, or they helped me, you know, bought these drop cloths or whatever it may be. And
oh wow!
So that's actually how I got almost all of my.
So you started with nothing is what it seems like. If you're having friends and family kind of buy you things like that.
I started with the support system. But,
and just then you didn't start with nothing. You started with a support system, which a lot of people don't have that.
Yeah,
and that's
and just desire, you know, and a lot of it was just I was ready to make a change from the life I was living, and and I was seeing that stuff happen. So it was like
That's admirable. Yeah.
desire. But yeah, I started it with not a lot, and just made it work.
So are you really smart? I mean, are you great, straight A's all through school? Or I mean, how do you,
No, absolutely not.
did you hit up college before?
I got my GED, so I dropped out junior year.
Okay.
So no, definitely not the smartest guy on the block, or at least not the guy that making the right decisions.
A little confident. Well, so a lot of people, what I'm saying is they're just too nervous. They think of all their inadequacies instead of thinking
Sure.
about the positive things. You keep kind of harping on what's the worst that can happen. Well, there's a lot of worst that can happen. Like you can go broke now. You can fail, and now everyone knows you're a failure. And all the people who trusted you and bought you a ladder and a drop cloth, now you failed them all.
No, I don't. I think if I have effort, I did not.
Oh, dang,
it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
that wasn't an option, really. I mean, because your work ethic wouldn't allow that kind of failure.
At this point, I'm not gonna. I can't let myself fail.
No, maybe not your current.
Too much responsibility now, but
yeah, I do.
It's just.
How long has it been since you started the company?
It's 7 years.
7 years. 7 years, and your life has seen a big change.
Absolutely, yeah. I moved to Central Oregon with $500, a backpack full of clothes, and a mountain bike.
And a desire to leave that person behind.
Yeah, and just, recreate myself, and it's worked out. It was a good choice.
I bet.
To start a company. It was difficult, you know what I mean, for sure, and it's still difficult.
Has it gotten easier?
Oh yeah, it's gotten way easier.
The pains are different.
The business kind of comes now, or it finds itself. I'm not out there walking around hanging the door hangers, by myself.
Man, it seems like every time I need your help, which as a moving company owner, we got movers bonk walls sometimes.
Sure.
We're nearly perfect. But
Yeah.
So when I call you up, yo man, come on in, I need a fix. Yo man, I need a fix.
Right.
And then you're always busy. You're always
Yeah,
always like, buddy, I'm painting a full house. Call somebody else for scratch. I don't know what to tell you.
Sure. Yeah, and
it's so awesome. You're always. It seems from the outsiders that you're doing good.
I'm doing well. I feel like I'm doing good. So that's, I think what matters is I'm doing. Yeah, I feel like
what matters is, I mean,
I'm comfortable.
Comparing yourself against what you did yesterday, the week before, the year before. I mean, it seems like 7 years ago, both of us from 7 years ago, man, we were making some changes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I think anyone in our friends group or people who've known us for any part of that time would be like,
yeah, not the same people.
Not the same people. Not to pat each other on the back, but let's just pat each other on the back real fast.
All right. Yeah. No, we have changed. I mean, I think that's just growing up too.
Yeah, you're right.
And we actually, we have families now.
Yeah. Well, I've had families for a while. But it's something recently about the group. It's about who you kind of surround yourself with. Like old you surrounded yourself with some dumbasses, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
with a bunch of me, right?
If we talk about you coming from addiction at all, like how's that?
Yeah, no, we can certainly talk
just saying,
about
how why'd you? That's kind of maybe a little too strange and personal. But what was really the breaking point where you're like, it's time to come out of here and get hooked on a whole new life? Because I know personally people who have not been able to take the jump from in the trenches of addiction, which obviously comes with depression and all the weight of all of that, and being able to pull themselves out of it and actually make something of themselves for more than a year or two without like a total relapse. I'm not trying to get too personal or anything because it's just a business thing.
I think I was like ready, to make that change. I had a tiny bit of childhood trauma stuff that I guess I addressed, like emotionally, like through music and whatnot. So then that helped me heal, and so that what allowed me to move on from addiction and who I felt like I was.
It's an amazing. That's amazing to me because that's. I mean, every day people are dying because they can't move on. They can't get over it. And I mean, that's to me, very inspiring to be able to hear and to see firsthand. Like, it's only been 7 years, and for me, 7 years ago, I was living in the woods in a van.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like 7 years ago.
When I moved here, I was living on Harley's couch. Praying in Harley's couch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You told me when I was walking in, you recently caught word that you beat a battle.
Oh, so yeah, tomorrow for me is 1 year cancer free.
1 year cancer free. You can hear the dogs in the background celebrating right now.
Woo! Yeah. No, I had some surgery a year ago. I had stomach cancer.
Oh, dang.
I was stage 4 stomach cancer when we figured it out.
And you got through. You're getting through that while running a business.
Yeah, last year was extremely difficult.
Going through COVID and the
COVID
backflashes
hit, and then that COVID, and then a little bit later I found out I was sick. So that was a battle, a bunch of chemo.
While the hospital's already panicky-ish, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So a bunch of chemo for like 10 months, and then had my stomach and my spleen and 18 lymph nodes removed.
Dang, what's a lymph node?
These, the things that help fight off infection.
You don't need those?
No, well, your body has a whole bunch of them. They're everywhere. You have some in your armpits, the glands that get swollen when
your swollen glands.
Sure, yeah. So these are just the ones that are your bigger, major ones, right? Okay. But they're all over your your body. I don't think they actually all have a place. They just kind of are there. But yeah, they hold infections and things like that. So we had to remove.
So 17 of those suckers had to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So did you get a new stomach, or how's that work?
So no, they brought my lower intestines up to my esophagus. So I had a gastric bypass.
Oh,
but
shit.
Instead of taking just part or half of my stomach, they took the whole thing. So I get full fast.
Dang.
Yeah, I get full fast now. I don't.
Man, I actually had no idea of the extent. That's madness. And you beat it?
Well, I mean, I guess we could say I beat it. I mean, so April 6th of 2023 was when they basically gave me a year. And then, so then April, I was supposed to be dead in April, but then once I removed the stomach and all that, it removes the cancer, the tumor that was in my stomach. So yeah, I mean, I beat it. I had hope, doctors and.
That seems like the same thing you keep saying, is that you just have a belief in your future or your abilities.
I just feel like we could kind of create what we want to create if we believe we can, right? Like, I think enough belief in something, it'll happen. Maybe it's not going to happen tomorrow, but it'll
belief
happen.
With action.
Yeah, it'll happen, and the goal, you just set goals that you can reach. So I believe you can create whatever, man.
I kind of believe you can create and manifest your own destiny and all that woo-woo stuff. I mean, I believe that.
This side has to manifest?
Yeah?
Or is it dream on this side?
Okay, yeah, dream.
Dream, yeah, this side says
manifest. There you go.
Yeah, no, I believe that fully, that you can heal yourself, or you can create. Energy's powerful, we are powerful.
Yeah, and we can, we can recreate and create. And it seems like you've done it multiple times now.
Mm-hmm, sure.
Now you're a cheap date, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'll have the nacho. Literally
just a chip. Just give me a chip.
What about so these days, I mean, back in the olden days, you spent $75, you hung some door hangers.
Yeah.
Business has been pumping and churning. These days, how are you finding more clients?
So the way I find clients now is almost all of it's word of mouth. My guys, they do still hang hangers.
Okay.
And then what I do with that is I give them part of that job.
Like a percentage?
Yeah, like say it's a $5,000 job, that's a $500 hanger for them.
Is that 10%?
Yeah.
Dang, I'm trying to do the math here.
Yeah.
You see, I'm a business owner, and that is an easy conversion. I'm like,
yeah. Plus, they get to work it, right? So
so they get 10%. Oh,
yeah, they get
obviously.
So I'll give them $500.
Plus their hourly wage.
Whatever they make an hour, and however many hours it takes. And
that's good. See, I'm trying to find ways, and I think a lot of business owners they're trying to find ways to keep their employees
interested.
Interested, invested, and accountable.
Yeah, so they I think they like that when they do score on a hanger, they score nice. It's good for them. And then I found too, if it's it turns out to be a builder or something like that, they want to do a better job because they want that builder to call me back. Right?
Oh, so they get repeat.
So it makes my quality control easier.
So let's say that, for instance, they hung one on the polish headquarters and polish now wants you for everything.
Uh-huh.
Is that person gonna get 10% of every? I mean,
yeah. So if you find me a job, if you find me a whole house, I'm giving you 10%, man. Like if
that's good, because
if Bobby Sue calls and said Nate said to call you, and then I paint Bobby Sue's house for $5,000, I'm giving you $500.
Bobby Sue's got a $6,000 house to paint, worth of paint. I mean, that $5,000 don't underbid, Manny. We're in this at 10% together at least.
Yeah,
I like that. Actually, I wanted to start a like a tradespeople book where we have one or two painters, electricians, plumbers, just kind of a list of, I don't know, click, but just a list of people who Higher Ground recommends outwards.
Sure, yeah, no, that'd be great.
With you guys on the top of the list for painters, of course.
No, that would be great. I mean, teamwork, dreamwork. Right?
Do you work with a lot of other painters yourself?
I do. So a couple years ago, actually, when I started the company, the very first job I did, that lady said, "Hey, I have this friend."
You're literally your very first
literally
job?
My very first exterior as a legit company. The lady said, "Hey, I have a friend that owns a company. I've been friends with him for a long time. You should call him." And actually, she called me because she was friends with my kid's mom, my significant other. And so she kind of picked us, right? Yeah. So I called him, and he started giving me jobs. That was another way, actually, that I started in business. Was I just called another painting company and said, "Hey,
you got any overflow?"
Yeah,
that's great. That's really admirable because a lot of people can't swallow their pride
and do that. Yeah,
and then they don't get that business.
So I worked with him. He fed me jobs. First it was a little job here, a little bit, and then it slowly evolved to where it was more jobs. And then he was wanting to retire. He'd been in business for 25 years, and he was wanting to retire. And
wait, that was from your first? You found this guy from?
Yes, yes, right. And now he's one of my best friends.
No.
I talk to him regularly.
You never know.
He actually works for me now because he's partially retired.
Oh.
And he's out there finding jobs for us.
What?
And so absolutely.
So you found a literal, like, as a unicorn of a person on almost day one.
Well, I mean, it sure has been a help. Absolutely. Yeah. And I've learned a lot from him. How to run a business and how to talk to clients.
Do you think you're a magnet for those kind of things, or how is this happening to you? That it seems happenstantially. I mean, obviously you do good work, but you're able to connect with people in a way where they want to help you and they want to see you succeed. When a lot of people in this world are kind of, they say they want to see you succeed, and then they don't. There's no effort or any second thought, and you're getting the second thought from people.
I think I just try to be an honest person, and I think that maybe helps.
That's such an honest person. Yeah. I'm just not a piece of trash.
No, I just try to. Steve says I'm a person of integrity, and I just try to, I guess, be like that and just be. I'm not trying to get rich off of one job or anybody. I'm just trying to live comfortably, and I think that helps.
We got to support your family.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But I think that helps too, where I don't come across where I'm trying to get rich off of a person.
I hear you.
I'm trying to provide a service.
But if anybody wants to make them rich,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you know the numbers for that lottery ticket, I'll take them.
Easy peasy.
And I do work hard, and I think it's just my customers are important to me.
Okay.
Because they help me change. They help me take care of my child. So. And maybe they see that, when I talk to them or at least I try to come,
Yeah. No, and it shows. So besides being open to what we just spoke about, what are some words of wisdom or advice or just some words you'd like to give someone who's looking to becoming a painter of their own, starting their own painting business and kind of doing how you started off? How could you?
I would say go for it,
Yeah.
And just understand you're not going to get rich off of one job. And somewhere I read that, and I think this is important, and I've tried to, that 80% of your money comes from 20% of your customers.
I heard that.
Meaning, like, I paint your house, you might tell this guy, so that counts in that percentage. So, if I treat my customers that way,
And you never
80% of my
never
money.
know if you slack on treating someone that in your
They're
way
all the
one
same,
time.
right? Every
Yeah.
job's the same.
Every
right?
job's the same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was something you'd tell your younger self. What about any other words of wisdom? Like, hey, younger self, don't try this. Don't get into pressure washing, or don't
Mm-hmm.
do this, or any big don'ts off the bat. That, because I know a lot of us, we see something shiny. Well, there's something that's working for us, but now it's starting to get boring, and there's something shining right over there. You know what I mean?
Right.
How did you not find the shiny things? How did you just stay focused? I mean, you're 7 years deep focusing.
I'm not sure how to answer that. I think I mean, there's shiny stuff out there for sure. I guess I just see a goal where I saw, I'm happy with how things are. So
You're not
maybe
trying to-
things were less shiny. You know what I mean? Maybe I still saw all those shiny things and they were just a little less shiny because I am happy with the way things are.
I like your attitude, man. I
Like
dig.
life used to not be the greatest, and now it is.
You
Part
said,
of that was I was supposed to be dead in April, right? So now I really, maybe if you talked to me 2 years ago, I might have had a slightly different attitude.
well, of course.
I'm
I
so
mean,
grateful
you're
now.
through that.
Yeah,
You're through that right now.
so grateful now that
Amazingly.
it's like, yeah, attitude's important, right? It's infectious.
Attitude is the only infection I want right now. Well,
It's my attitude.
I want to be infected by your attitude, buddy. But I mean, besides giving your words of advice to younger you or people who are just getting in the industry, anything else you'd like to say? I mean, how can people find you? How can people place an order with you? Or where can they find you in Central Oregon?
So, I mean, I have a website, morsepaint.com. You can find me there or contact.
How do you spell that?
Morse, like Morse code.
Like Morse code.
.com.
Gotcha.
You can email me at contact@morsepaint.com or 503-919-5244.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Here in Bend and Redmond, all Central Oregon.
All of Central Oregon, yeah.
Beautiful. Perfect. Well, this has been David Morse with Morse Paint.
Yeah.
And until next time, have a good day. Whatever, dude.
All right, cool.